Welcome back to Travel by Turtles. With it being the end of December and 2023 right around the corner, I want to provide you advice around traveling in the new year. So, today I want to talk about creative ways to start funding your vacation when you're in a pinch. Vacations are always expensive, and with the economic downturn, it can be difficult for some to justify expenses involved with travel. So one of the best ways is to plan beforehand, right? You could easily reduce your trip's expenses just by taking or getting an idea of the things that you're going to do, making a list of all the locations you want to see, the activities you want to do there, and the financial resources that you are going to need in order to fund that trip. Once you've done all that, it's time to look into flights, hotels, and other lodging options to see what offers are available. So that being said, there's a lot of different ways to finance a vacation. Today, I'm going to share 5 out of the box and some obvious ideas that can help get you started to at least get some money together to fund that vacation. So number 1 is to get a part-time job. Now, there's 2 ways to look at this, right? You can get a part-time job now while you are not on vacation to just start saving up enough money. If your trip's going to cost you about $1,000, maybe this will take a few months for you to kind of save up enough money to be able to do this, especially around the holiday season. People are always hiring part-time help to get through this time of year. The other thing is that you can continue to work your full-time job, right? You can handle your normal expenses. The part-time job just takes care of the extra money that you're going to need to take the trip. And be transparent with the company that you're looking to join with, right? Like, hey, I'm just looking for some holiday work right now. And that can even become a reoccurring thing for you year over year, where you just take this job, get money for the vacations, and then throughout the rest of the year, you can do whatever you want, right? You have that freedom of your time back. The other way that you can think about getting a part-time job is actually on the vacation, right? So let's say you want to take a trip to Florida, or maybe you even want to go to a different country. Think of different ideas that you could do there, like just little side hustles, kind of, right? Where let's use the Florida example. If you're going to the beach, maybe you could work at, like, I don't know, a juice bar or something, right? That might be able to take your vacation and extend it for a lot longer. You could live from the actual location, pay for all of your expenses while also making some money and then getting to have fun at night. That takes a little bit more of a commitment. You're also going to be on vacation for a little bit longer, but it's definitely a out-of-the-box way to get out of where you're at right now and into a different place. Cool. So number 2 is to sell items that you no longer need or want. Now, this one is somewhat obvious, but people don't really always think about that option, right? There's so many things that we all own that we might not even use. For example, an old Xbox, right? Maybe you just bought a new Xbox a year ago and you've got the previous model. Well, you could probably sell it for like at least $100, right? If you've got I don't know, like an Instant Pot or something laying around that you haven't used. You bought it because it was on sale, never ended up using it. Well, throw it on eBay, throw it on Amazon. Someone's going to be willing to purchase that. Even like extra furniture, or even if you have damaged furniture that's just sitting there, fix it up, clean it up, and sell it, restore it. There's so many different ways that you can make money off of the things that you already own. And restoration is a great way. I think people often even pay more for something that looks more rustic. So that might be another side hustle even that you can get into, but that extra money will definitely add up fast when you start selling things here and there. All right, so option number 3 is cutting back on your expenses. Again, this one is kind of obvious, but I don't think people actually think about how fast cutting back on certain things adds up. So I'm just gonna pull out my phone, we'll do a quick calculation. So let's say you go out to eat once a week, you and your significant other, and you're spending $100, right? And let's just, in this case, we'll say you go once every other week. So let's say that's $200 a month. Well, over the course of a year, if you're going out twice a week, that's $2,400, right? And that's just one thing, that's just one activity, one expense, going out to eat. So let's say you limit that down in half, right? You're still going to want to go out to eat, but maybe you just go out once a month. Well, if we divide that by 2, that's $1,200. And that could be half of the vacation for a lot of people. If you're going on an all-inclusive for a week, there's plenty vacations that you can go on for $1,200. So that at least covers one of you if you're going as a couple. Another thing that you can do is lower your, I don't know, this is out of box thinking, but lower your heat, right? In the wintertime, or maybe keep it a little bit cooler. I know that's probably going to only save you a couple bucks here and there, but it all adds up. Other expenses could be even like drinks, right? Let's say you're buying a case of beer every week, or liquor, or going to the bar. But if you're doing things like that, there's so many different ways where you can cut back on your expenses, and cutting out the food you're eating is one of them. Yeah. All right, so the next one that I have here is starting a side hustle. And I think I've talked about side hustles throughout this whole video, but specifically, you could just like sell pretty much anything. You can help people. A great side hustle in the wintertime is helping people around the neighborhood shovel snow. So let's say you have 10 neighbors that you start helping out, and let's say you're friendly neighbors, so you're not going to charge all that much. 10 neighbors, maybe you're charging $20 a week, super low, right? And let's say you do this for, I don't know, for 12 weeks, right? So 3 months of snow. That's $2,400 right there. That's your entire vacation, and all you have to do is shovel some snow. You can do the same thing actually year round, right? You can take multiple vacations. So let's use the example of you being one person, and you're just collecting $20 a week from 10 neighbors, $200, and obviously you should be able to shovel 10 driveways, or even mow 10 lawns a week. So and you should be able to charge more than 22. I'm just using 20 as a like a low ball number, right? But if you do that for 52 weeks, so you're making 200 times 52, that's $10,400, right? That can fund plenty of vacations. You're one person, divide that by 1,200, 8 trips. You can go on 8 trips throughout the year, which honestly, it might just be some extra pocket change for you, but that's not an insignificant amount of capital, right? There's plenty of other things though too. I talked about doing some of the restoration stuff. That's fun. You can even buy a little machine and start making t-shirts for people. And then when you're on your vacation, you can have your own custom shirts as well. So many different ideas and things that you can do. Just got to get creative a lot of the time, and think out of the box in those types of ways. Only go with one more idea. Let's see, what else can you do? What are other ways that you can start a side hustle? I don't know, go to Craigslist, go to a job board, do some side projects on construction. There's so many ideas. All right, maybe we should move on to the next one now. Number 5 is if you're getting married and going on a honeymoon, add your trip or your vacation to your registry. So this is something that I actually, I got married about 2 years ago, maybe 3, but we didn't end up doing this, but I found out after we got married that a lot of people do add their honeymoon to their registry. I think you can do it on Amazon. I think Target lets you do the same thing as well, but people are purchasing things for you anyways. So a great way to get people to kind of help you out is just add your trip, and it's almost like they're just helping you fund it. Your family's going to be happy because they feel like they helped contribute to a great vacation for you and your spouse. But it's also kind of an exciting thing to add on into your wedding planning process, right? I feel like weddings are always so busy and hectic, and there's a lot of things that get involved with it. Some things aren't the most fun, right? Like thinking of how much certain things are going to cost. But planning your honeymoon is always like a fun idea. So definitely something to kind of break up the hustle of a wedding. But you can also get everything funded in that same way. So just another idea, another way to go about getting your vacation funded. Think of other apps too. Maybe if you're not using like Amazon or Target, you can even put it on your registry card that, hey, cash is always great. Use that however you want. Going back into the side hustles, if you are getting cash, maybe you can invest that cash as well, right? So let's say you don't quite have enough money to fund your entire trip. Well, it wouldn't really be all that much of a problem if maybe you're going to take the trip later on. Put the money into the stock market, find a stock that pays you dividends. And that can actually even help you pay for future trips, right? So just a different way to think about funding and financing your vacation. So obviously, the best way to save money on travel is by planning ahead. When you're going on the trip and you're just buying things randomly here and there, things add up fast, and if you didn't plan for it ahead of time, you might be able to even go over budget, which is not a good thing. So always plan ahead of time. Again, like I said earlier, you should start making a list of all the places you want to visit. Maybe there's added costs that go along with them. Maybe you have to pay extra fees if you're going through like a state park. Figure out what you want to do there. There's certain restaurants you want to go to. I'm not saying that you have to specifically say, oh, this is what we're going to eat, this is how much it's going to cost, this is the tax, but just get an idea, throw a ballpark number of how much on average you think you're going to spend at the place. And then in total, you can figure out how much money you have available for the trip before going through any of these 5 ideas. And then figure out how much you need to raise, right? Maybe you only have to cut grass or shovel a few people's driveways to get just enough to cover the trip, and then you don't have to commit to a full year-long hustle. Maybe you don't need to take on that part-time job, right? Maybe you can just sell a few items around the house, and then that'll be enough to cover the extra portion of the trip. So once you have your budget planned and you know how much extra you need, then you can start looking into flights and hotels and actually get things booked, right? There's always tons of ways that you can find better accommodations. In the next few videos, we'll go through different websites and the deals that they're offering right now. Like I said, it's December, it's holiday season. 2023 is right around the corner. So there's probably a high likelihood that you could find good holiday deals because companies want to end their years off strong. So they might be giving better deals just to hit their revenue goals for the year. I guess, yeah, with that being said, I hope that this helped to at least get you thinking of some new ways that you can creatively finance your next trip or vacation. And in the next videos, as I mentioned, we'll go through some of the different sites that they have available. Who knows, maybe we'll even make a video on additional ways that you can come up with creative financing ideas to fund your trips and vacations. Maybe we'll also go through some videos where we talk about trips that are maybe a little bit cheaper than others. And then if you're balling not on a budget, if you're just balling in general, we'll talk about some of the ballin' vacations you could take to that might be above a lot of my budgets as well. So we'll talk about the dream vacations for a lot of us. That being said, thanks for watching. Again, the channel name is Travel by Turtles. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more tips, tricks, and stories as we get into the new 2023 year.